Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Channel Update. Alright, so we're back. I'm going to be leaving you guys, gals, and everybody who listens, just a little bit of an update of what's coming up for the channel. So, as you have probably noticed in the past couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, I decided to switch over to a weekly video production model. It's just due to like a lot of the work that I'm doing and everything else in my life. Producing videos once a week makes more sense. The other reason is obviously since I've gotten a very good response from WoW mods, and people seem to be enjoying it quite a bit. It takes time to actually do content because not only it's not the same thing as it was, for example, when I was playing games where I could just load up a game, set up some time to actually play the games and record, and I would do that, and then throughout the week I would have a chance to edit the videos and put them out on a more regular basis. Doing the WoW mods and actually having to finalize a lot of these things it takes more time. I have to actually invest time to sit down and to sort of like patiently mod through a lot of these things. You have to understand that when I started doing it, it started out essentially as a hobby. If someone asked me to compare it to something, and I said, I guess it's the closest thing I've ever come to dealing with miniatures, in the sense that, you know, it's something that you start building, it's quite tedious, it takes a huge amount of time. You don't really do it for other people, you kind of just do it for yourself. So that's pretty much the way that I approached it. And that I still do. I still approach that, except now I still feel a little bit more rush to have content available on a weekly basis, and that's essentially why I started the Let's Mod WoW series. Is though it might be, you know, a bit slower to actually just see me build things and work through them, but at least it guarantees time that I'll be sort of investing on a weekly basis to actually mod. And if you're really interested in it, well, you know, you'll go ahead and watch those videos. If you just want to see the finalized product, what I'm trying to do is that maybe every 2 to 3 WoW mod videos I'll put on an actual mod video, which is finalized, or sometimes I might just do something entirely different, like the unicorn skin or the skinning video that I did for that. So more of those videos will come across. There's some people who are contacting me via Reddit through the YouTube channel. By the way, I'm reading all the comments in the YouTube channel, so if you leave a reply there, or a question or a request or something, I will read it. So please feel free to do that. So that's going to continue. Some videos are going to come down the line. They're already prepped and ready to go. I do want to tell you though that so I'm making a big trip. I am currently going to be leaving for Australia. I'm currently in Montreal, Canada. That is a very big trip all the way across to the other side of the world. For my job, I'll be fortunate enough that I'll be able to see one of my best friends, spend a bit of time with him, catch up, have a little bit of rest and relaxation before we go into work. So I won't be back in modding or editing or producing videos until the 28th. I believe this is when I'll be back home. But that really isn't going to translate into much. It just means that I've already prepared content that will release with the channel as well. And you'll have to forgive me that this week the channel content will be just this video. Normally when I try and do a channel update, I also try and like put in the regular weekly video, but that won't be possible this time around. It's just not enough time, but I've managed to actually give you, at least weekly releases till I get back from my trip. And that's sort of the gist of everything. In terms of talking about the future, in terms of what I think about the channel, I have a couple of other projects that I want to get done. Unfortunately, I've had the tendency to really go overboard with the scope of the projects that I'm doing. Maybe because I'd already kind of finalized the Quelimon mod, which is by far, I think, my most complete and largest mod to date. But for example, the Suramar mod, that's really, it's very, very ambitious for one person to undertake. Not only did I undertake the idea of designing this city, but also generating an entire like island around it. So it's gonna take a while for me to actually, get that anywhere near being finished. So maybe in the future what I'll focus on are smaller mods, maybe modular mods, maybe add-ons to certain zones in the game, as opposed to having these very grand, these very large projects. Other things might be me just showing you around the server, kind of like what I've just done right now, which I showed you that I let a couple of players come in and run some dungeons and test some things, and me going into the dungeons and just checking out if mechanics works, like going into Scarlet Monastery, flying, maybe showing you a bit from the air what that looks like, and also if the triggers for bosses are correct, and if the mods spawn, for example, after you kill Herod. So I'll try and do that. I'll try and put that for this video, make it at least entertaining to watch. But I think that's it. So until I get back from my trip to Australia, I'll be waiting and reading all your comments as the videos are published. Remember to like, remember to subscribe if it's your first time around, and I will see all of you next time.